All right. Welcome to the 17th edition of the Novice Sports Show. Again, three guys who came together organically to talk sports from a novice point of view. Like I said, we're finally up to 21 subscribers. Moving kind of slow. So if you guys could continue to like and share so we can build that momentum up so we can get to 25. Right? Like I said, 17th episode. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and get to the introductions. We got my man.
AJ.
We got Jay. We got A-Dub. So this past weekend, we had a lot of basketball activity. I think the hottest take was LeBron getting his son into the league, a little bit of nepotism going on there. So a lot of people had a lot of things to say, but as we said in one of our previous episodes, when have rich people not helped their children get along? So with that, of course, he is a project from what I've seen. Again, I've watched a few scouts talk about him. So he is a developmental project. And of course, they didn't waste a top 10 pick. It was a second round pick. And again, most people in the second round are developmental picks in the NBA. So what you got on that, guys?
So you can look at the history of the NBA draft. There's dudes taken in the top 5 that end up being busts. There's definitely people taken in the lottery, taken in the first round, taken in the second round that won't ever sniff being a good player, right, in the league. So all the outrage about the Lakers taking Bronny, just think about it. What's the downside, right? He's the number 55 pick out of 60. Look for the last 10 years of who they picked at the end of the second round, and you let me know the giant stats let me know where they're sitting on the team, because they're not there, right?
Probably not gone.
With Bronny, a couple things, right? You know what his pedigree is, and worst case, he's got the physical attributes of one of the GOATs, right? You know that he's had every benefit and advantage of training, of nutrition, of all of that, right? He works out with his dad all the time, and the people that his dad works out all the time. So let me know what other NBA draft pick had those advantages that far down, right?
And then also within that, since we're talking about physicality, he also came back from a heart injury.
Yeah. We give him
medical.
We take marks off of him because he only averaged, less than 5 points a game in college.
Same season.
But yeah, dude had a heart
crazy.
attack. Like he died. Like the fact that he's even playing. So we don't know how that set him back. People can say what they want. Oh, if he wasn't this or he wasn't that. Look, he was still rated as a top high school player. He was still as a McDonald's All-American. He was still a, highly touted dude. And if you look at his game, he was never a dude that was out there scoring 40 a game, right? That's just not his game. Okay. So, the fake outrage of, oh, look at
them. He should have averaged 20.
Wasting a pick. And I'm like, wasting what pick? Again, you tell me who in those other picks they should have gotten that people would say, oh, now that guy's going to help them win a championship. And forget that.
That guy from Kentucky.
So you know what I'm saying? So
what's his name?
Rob Dylan.
Yes, right. Yeah, him or no, the other guy, the white guy.
What I'm saying is they went top 10. I'm talking number 55. Tell me who they could have picked. Who they could have
55. That's better than
55 that was going to help them more than Bronny.
CD.
He went top 10.
I don't know why. I don't know why he went to 10.
We're gonna see what he does.
We're gonna see what he do with the Grizzlies.
He definitely impressed people with what he did from when he left college to he lost weight. His quickness was better than people thought. So we'll see.
Because he looked like a Statue of Liberty out there.
Yeah, but he still dominated college. And that's the other example, right?
At the rim, you're supposed to dominate.
Lots of dudes at 7.
Yeah.
They didn't do
it. Taco Fall
ain't in the league. They can't even get a cup of coffee in the league now.
But it goes back to what you said before, like how impactful players still may not get the opportunity because 2-time National Player of the Year a couple years ago, guaranteed number 1 pick.
Would have been number 1 pick. Back in the day, that's all people needed to see. Look how he dominated these college dudes.
Could have left after that first year.
It's a whole different world now where just look at the dude that went number 1 How many points did he get in that?
12.
Oh, in the
no.
hoop summit?
In the-
Yeah,
yeah. So in the hoop summit, that's against like other top.
Yeah,
like,
in America and
Yeah.
overseas.
and he scores 5 points, and you take him number one.
And then he averaged only 11.
He's got upside. He's got physical traits. Your light skinned dude from Europe.
He's
that gives us
just like a
points.
raw talent.
So I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, man. So
they already got one light skin on the team.
hey, that's how the. I'm gonna speak to that real quick. I'm gonna tell you what my thought is, right? There's a lot of dudes that have gone overseas and played basketball.
Yeah.
And they end up
Stuck
with
over.
a German wife or a French wife or a Australian wife, and then they have kids, and now you got this. Maybe she was 6'5", and so now you end up with like these multiracial kids with these great genetics, but they stay in Europe or Italy. They're in Italy or Australia or whatever, and then they just keep, because the mentality, the American pro mentality overseas might be different than the dudes that are over there, right? But he's looking like, I'm gonna get my son to do X, Y, Z. And then you look years later, they never came, a lot of them never came to the United States to play basketball, but somehow they get noticed by all these
scouts.
Yeah. And you go back and look, and you got your Jokic's and your Lucas.
Yeah.
A lot of them are your Wemby's.
The
kids with multiracial kids that have the kind of the best of both worlds overseas and the United States, and then they come up through with the benefits of the European like pro system, style of play, plus the trainers, plus maybe the grittiness of the American. Man, you create a bunch of monsters, man.
Yeah, but with that being said, like I said, with the league constantly, okay, let's back up. So we remember when the league started going to try to make it global, because I can't remember, who was the commissioner who said he wanted to make basketball a global sport? Right?
It was right. It was the guy right before.
You're not talking about Adam.
No, before him, right before him.
Right before him. That's when all it really started. Because before that, you literally had, like we said, if you won, I think was it the Naismith Award?
Yeah.
So if you won the Naismith Award, you were going number one. Number two,
David Stern.
Stern. Yep.
So Stern wanted to make it global.
Yep.
And then if you remember, slowly back, even with Jordan, when they drafted Tony Kukoc,
that was a big deal.
That was a huge deal back then. Because even Rodman and them, when they played him in the Olympics, and Tony was only like 18.
Yeah.
And they were like,
and you look back.
So all that, when as we move forward, they're going more and more and more.
More European players that's getting in that draft.
Yeah, they get in the draft, and and that's partly due to the fact that, as we stated earlier, they can actually go pro at 13.
Yeah.
So you're a pro athlete at 13. So you have, while you're learning, again, that's some of the best developmental years in your life.
You still got access.
You still got access. Not only that, you're developing good habits,
discipline,
fundamentals.
Yeah,
you're doing
and in Europe, that's the same thing with all the sports, right? So
and actually with that, I'm sorry, quick. Can they get agents at 13?
Well, in Europe, it's kind of,
they can drink.
Can they start
probably,
talking? Yeah,
they can drink at 13.
But even other sports, right? They identify you early on as you're gonna be a tennis prodigy, soccer. So they put you in these academies at like 8, 9, 10, and they basically just gymnasts. All of them.
Now they're in the club for real.
Yeah, and they just churn it out. They're just waiting to see which ones are gonna become the monsters, right?
Yeah.
And then those are your Olympians. Those are your, we do it a little differently in this country,
Right?
Which is, my son is pretty good. He's 7. I'm gonna put him on this AAU team, and we're gonna go to Florida. We're gonna go to all these tournaments.
Then we're gonna be in this academy. We transfer to an academy.
But what we see is the YouTube videos and the on the social media of the the flashy stuff, the one
This kid has handles. This kid dunked on
Yeah.
this kid. Like,
the and then you get the stuff with the teams where it's like remember like the video that went out, it was like a bunch of like third graders and they were like
Yeah.
too small and they were
Yeah.
doing all these celebrations.
like we
That's-
ain't there yet.
But that's what we doing, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's like,
playing.
oh, look at this, look
Yeah.
at this.
Yeah, they're getting their fundamentals right.
These kids overseas in the third grade
They learn how to
are
go
probably
drop
out there
the
holding
pad.
bricks and,
Yeah.
and carrying logs and stuff, man. They trying to make these jokers into hardened killers.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, and the rules are a little different over there, but
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
interesting because
Mhm.
I always would think, now I'd be like, why is there a lot of Nikolais overseas? Is that like a common name?
no. I mean, remember, that's just
It just
the-
depends on the country.
just the country
Okay.
you're coming from. I mean, like I said, think about Wimbiana is not a common name. I,
Yeah,
I
not
mean,
at all.
when I hear Wimbiana, I don't think French, I think Africa. And
Mm,
Africa's a very big continent, no disrespect. But like I said, so it just depends on their descent, where they come from. Like I said, a lot of intermingling. So you get the sweet spot.
yeah.
And everybody wants their kid like we figured out that the NBA is where the money is and where people want their
Wanna
people to
be,
end up,
yeah.
right? So back in the day, remember like Arvydas Sabonis?
Yes, yeah.
Like he was like supposed to be like back then the big men ran the
Yeah.
league, right?
Yeah, big
And
man.
all they talked about was this dude in Russia
Blazers.
who's better than all of them, right?
Yeah, right.
But back then you didn't come over. You stayed in over there. He didn't make it to Portland, so he was like an old dude
Yeah,
that could
years
barely
later.
run,
Yeah,
and you could tell a huge difference in
yeah, because he was old.
yeah. But now
He still put up. He still
he
had
put up
pretty
good numbers. Yeah,
numbers now.
he was kind of like Jokic before
Yeah,
Jokic.
he had
He was a
good-
passer. He could
he
shoot.
had
Because
good
all
numbers.
huge.
brothers came from overseas.
So-
Yeah, yeah,
Gasol,
exactly.
Mark
Spain,
Gasol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spain.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, so all of that's part of that migration they're moving forward. Like I said, but it still kind of surprises me that, because we still have talent. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, we have talent. Something is triggering them to go, I know you're a point guard, you're 6'5", you average 18 points a game, got great basketball IQ, but now we're not gonna pick you, we don't pick this guy.
yeah.
And you're going,
Nothing.
nobody from from Connecticut got drafted?
Oh,
No,
no.
they got signed after they got signed.
Well, no, Connecticut got two
Yeah.
first rounders.
UConn got
But yeah,
4 out of the
like,
5
but a
players
lot of the
drafted.
guys in the
Yeah,
Final
yeah,
Four
in the
Yeah,
Final
didn't
Four
get
couldn't
drafted.
couldn't get yeah.
So
Oh,
like,
too old.
Yeah.
The league, like AJ said, the league is starting to get younger and younger.
Yeah.
Hey,
And they
you
look
want
for
this project at 17 as opposed to a project at 24.
yeah, because they're like at 24, I know what you are,
Yeah.
but
You ain't gonna get no better.
But this 18-year-old, he might have a ceiling that's way up here, and they're like with our coaching and training, we can get you there.
Yeah. And then I feel like, and this may be a hot take, even though basketball is becoming more of a global sport, overseas is starting to, involve themselves with our sport, which is basketball. I still don't think the international players are overtaking the American players, though. It's only a few.
It's just because of numbers, though. If you think about it, so like when you ask people what name the top 5 players in the league, right?
You got 2 of them that's overseas.
So you got more than 2. Let's think about non-American players. So
Okay,
think about
okay.
think about who you would name, right? A lot of people would say Luka, right? A
Giannis,
lot of people say Giannis. He's from Greece. A lot
Embiid,
of people would say,
Joker.
well, Embiid doesn't really count because he's
but he came
been
from.
here,
Okay,
and
okay.
now he's a citizen, but he
Yeah.
kind of could count. The Joker,
Yeah.
Um,
Three.
even Shea is from Canada.
Yeah.
Um,
Sabonis?
he's and I think he was born here.
No, he
Yeah,
was.
he was.
He
But you
was.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's 4.
and then you think about like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they're both American. But it just, you know what I'm saying? We've been naming dudes
Yeah.
and they're foreign born players, a lot of them, right? And it's not to say that there's, if you took them all together,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
they
They're not
still
definitely.
dominating that. And,
Yeah.
and we're not expecting the US to lose in the Olympics.
Right, at all.
We could, because the rest of the world
The
is
gap-
You're catching up.
Cap is close.
but we feel, overall
I still
talent.
think we're
we
the
still
guy.
better.
Yeah.
But
Oh, no, but see, that's why they want to come here and play. Otherwise, number one.
They
Yeah.
got something to prove a little bit.
And they got something
Exactly.
to prove, because if you come over here, it's a little different versus playing over there.
Yeah.
It is.
It's way different. I mean, that's why when
The
you look
rules,
at,
the
not even the
regulations.
rules, but the media attention you garner over here is completely different.
Yeah, because basketball over there is not even.
As
I mean,
big.
there's
Not as
countries
big.
where it is, but soccer, other
Soccer, yeah.
sports are way bigger, right?
Yeah, you literally, I was, before I came here, speaking of other sports, England versus, was it somebody?
That big tournament that's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
yes, I
and
did
it
see it.
was like,
It was packed. It was
yeah,
packed.
you think anybody watching basketball right now? No,
Yeah,
not
that's
over there.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
not over
that's
there.
I mean,
Watch basketball over there, all
They watching
they all
soccer.
that's
watching
the I mean
soccer.
that's the world
So-
sport.
So that's what they do. So I mean, when they leave from come over, and when you watch some of the highlights of some of the games that are played over there, it's like playing. No disrespect, it's like playing in like the old WNBA, right? You got a high school gym, not a high school gym, but that's how many people you got
Yeah.
in there. You don't. The Raptors aren't going all the way up to the top.
Even
what we
even
talking
for
about?
When they play basketball over there.
Oh,
overseas.
basketball.
even
Gotcha,
for,
gotcha.
yeah, for some of them, but
for
like
some of
the Euro League
Yeah.
and like other big leagues overseas, it look like they in the gladiator
Well,
match.
well, like China.
That is-
is-
They'll have
is
like
the-
the fire in the background with the
Yeah.
explosions after you make a three. It's like
Yeah. Well, like
ton.
China's a huge,
Well,
and, that,
see,
and that
yeah,
was the
China's
first one
different.
Yeah.
that
China's-
Stern wanted
yeah,
to do, right? But yeah, it's huge over there, and that's
Yeah.
why when Yao Ming came
that's
over,
why they
Yeah.
wanted- they
he
wanted-
was the biggest
Yeah.
thing in the history of
yeah, they
basketball
wanted to drag that
because the
market
whole
into
country,
eyeballs.
yeah,
looking at him. Yep.
exactly.
Yeah, so except for the media over there, over here is different.
Different than
They
it.
looking to, some people are looking to take you down. I'm sure that happens over there too, but I think it's more apt over here because you can make a name for yourself if I take down you, and I get more followers.
Yeah.
But this is where you want to come because number two, again, money. Right? They're
Yeah.
not paying you $60
No.
million
Over there.
They're
Yeah.
paying you $60 million.
Not to play basketball, soccer, yes,
Yeah.
but
Basketball,
but
nah, you don't get
basketball, not.
Yeah.
But
With that. Go ahead.
back with Bronny. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you guys see him
Well,
if he
me-
ends up being the project that guys want or
No, well, he's
to
gonna-
pan out?
Well, for him to pan out again, I mean, I don't think, okay. Second round, so he doesn't have to play right away. Right? And that's what you want.
He doesn't have to. I think
No,
he
no,
still
he
has the
doesn't.
pressure to play, though.
No, he has the pressure to play, but you should never play until the pressure if you're not ready. Because if you he comes out flat for 2-3 games, shark, blood in the water.
Well, but here's the thing: you got to think about it this way. We were talking about this.
I'd rather him
with
go
some
ahead and
guys.
get accustomed to it now
Well,
than
here's
later.
the thing. This is the
Should be
thing.
coming to it.
In practice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're gonna be going hard. You're gonna be going at it with the
Everybody
other
gonna be going
players,
at you.
right? Yes, and he's not gonna be unprepared. LeBron is gonna be like,
Yeah.
look, this is what's gonna happen. None of that's gonna be a surprise to him, right? The way he plays is gonna decide. He's gonna have to earn the respect of the people in the locker room. He's gonna have to earn the respect of the people in the league, so that when he does get any time, that they're looking, okay, he didn't back down from me. He did his thing. And I think so far, everybody that talks about Bronny, they say that. They say
Yep.
he's not entitled. He's got a great attitude. He's not looking to be like, my dad, this, so y'all should
Right.
treat me a certain way. But I'm gonna tell you, they were saying how, like, okay, the best thing for Bronny would be to play in the G League and get a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
I disagree.
I
And
think
I'm gonna tell you why. Because he could have stayed in college
And it's the same thing.
and gotten lots of minutes. And what's that really going to do, right? It's either going to expose you as not being able to play,
Right.
or it's going to say, oh, you're killing these
Right.
18-year-olds. That ain't helping you when you get here anyway, right? Let's say they put him in the G League. You talk about having people that are going to be looking at you sideways, because they all going to be like, yo, man, I'm better than you.
Mhm.
You taking my spot, and they're really gonna be going at him. And Bronny's game isn't I'm gonna go up there and score 30, and where it looks like
Right. It's not glamorous.
you're gonna look at the box score and be like, Bronny only had 8 points and 6
He
rebounds. and
feels
5
the stat
assists.
sheet in other ways,
Yeah.
but he's not glamorous with his.
So personally, I think what's gonna happen with Bronny is that he's gonna get some spot minutes here and there
see how he's gonna
to kind of
fill it out.
play defense.
kind of like
See-
Kobe
See if you
early on.
Kobe was getting a little more than that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
he wasn't playing well.
he wasn't playing well,
Wasn't
but he
playing
was
well.
playing a
He
lot.
playing like yeah.
Bronny's
I was about to say,
not
that's the
gonna
guy.
play a lot, and he might not play well.
And I think too that, not saying that he doesn't do it, film is going to be important for him.
Yes.
to know where he should be on the floor at all times,
Well, I mean,
to figure out the guys that he plays with, to put them in the right
Yeah.
spots.
And I think that's what he'll. Yeah.
well, but that won't be his first year. I mean, I just don't see that happening in his first year because again,
No, not with Bron still there.
yeah, like I said, I don't see that. I mean, I see him coming in as minimal minutes,
Yeah.
right? Well, you know,
Bron gone in 2 years.
I mean, he gone into years, he's 38.
Bronny might be
Yeah.
gone in 2 years because the only reason he's there
Because
is
his
because
dad.
of his dad.
But,
Really.
you know, like I said, but so
Well-
I see him coming in, like maybe at the end of the game, garbage minutes if they're up big or down low, whatever. Then that's where he's going to really get it, other than in practice.
Yeah, and you can,
That's it.
and you
I
can
don't see.
you can throw him in and be like, yo, this dude is killing us.
Yeah, go lock him up.
You two go in there and see what you can do. And then he might get cooked like everybody else does. You know, or he's standing in the corner because nobody's going to guard him.
Yeah.
And this ball swings to him, he knocks down a shot. People
Like-
are going to lose their mind when he knocks a shot down.
I told you Bronny is like a Drew Holiday. I see him as a Marcus Smart. I wouldn't say Avery Bradley or yeah, I think that could be if
I mean,
he
he could be.
yeah. If
Okay,
he
I'm
hits
fine.
his
Right,
ceiling.
right.
No, if he hits his
Okay.
ceiling. But I
Well,
definitely
somebody-
think he could definitely be a Marcus Smart. And that's I'm not taking any credit away from Marcus Smart, but I think he's a valuable piece to certain teams.
Like you said, it's going to take him a while
Yeah,
to,
it's-
and like I said, I think they coach him up in practice.
Have to.
They see what he's gonna do. He's sitting on the end of the bench, taking it in. He'll get a couple minutes at the end of the quarter, end of the half, maybe.
Look, stand up, they can put Bronny in.
If there's a
blowout.
if there's a blowout, if you know whatever. But I honestly see that more than him playing a lot of minutes
Yeah,
in the
he's
G
not-
League.
And if people mad now, they're gonna be mad in 3 years. Cause Bryce coming right behind him.
Well, no, but see, I
And
said
Bryce is
before,
6'6", 6'5", 6'6".
Bryce ain't done growing yet.
He ain't done growing. He don't score 20 points. He don't average that. But he can shoot the lights out.
yeah, like I said, I've seen him play.
He can shoot the lights
I've
out.
seen some highlights.
He got maybe potential.
I'm like,
Yeah.
he's play some more deep.
Somebody asked
To do.
somebody asked Bronny, do you think you're gonna what do you think about the chance of you playing with your dad as well? And Bryce said, man,
Yeah,
So
like,
gonna be
he
40
should- yeah,
they
he
gonna
be
be
40
42. He said, so no, I ain't counting on that.
Yeah.
Look,
But he may.
hey, look, because
We talk about how
No,
special and
No,
unique
I
Bron is.
know, but hey, look, I'm gonna tell you how special. I don't care how special and unique you are. Father Time is undefeated. Them knees, them bruises.
All right,
them
but
hits.
what if he's not playing? What if he's like, are you down his house?
No, that's what I'm saying. Listen, here's the thing.
He's on the bench, you mean coach a player, maybe?
You got to think about this. And I say this, barring injury, because you know you blow out your Achilles, you done. He ain't gonna make it 3 years, right? You jack up your knee.
Hip.
You're not gonna, that's gonna
Back.
really.
Mhm.
But let's say he remains pretty major injury free like he is now. We haven't seen old LeBron yet. Old LeBron is like what you saw at the end of Tim Duncan's career, the end of the end of
10 and 5.
the end of Shaq's career. You could do that at 42 because you playing down low.
Well, yep.
You just you playing off the ball.
Mm.
Yo, he could do that at 40. The way he's that's not don't think
You know
that
what I'm saying?
he'll
It
see
ain't
that.
outreach.
It ain't out reaching. I'm just saying, bro.
Because if you don't want to do
See,
that,
And if it's close, he's like, man, I just gotta make one more year and Bryce is playing. Yo, I'm
I'll
gonna do it.
that. Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
do
Now,
give it a
Bronny
shot.
gonna have to hold out his end of the bargain and still be in the league by then.
Yeah.
He
Like I
can't
said,
get bounced out by then, but
It's gonna be
And
tight,
and
man.
if-
like I
if-
said, I'll tell you, man. I don't as a former athlete. When you turn 40, bro, your body different. I understand he got the best care in the world, but he's had back problems. And them back problems are real.
they ain't keeping him from being first team
Yeah.
NBA.
It
So
ain't.
I'm saying
And I ain't, you know, I ain't even
Hold
the
up.
biggest Bron
Shot,
supporter. Yeah.
shot.
if he drops way off, right?
Yeah.
Way off. You tell me he can't give you what?
Can't give you 8,
What
5, and
scrub
3.
dudes did?
Yeah, I'll probably give you that, but bro, it's gonna be tough.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know.
It's either you uproar about Bryce coming in the league or you uproar about Bron being one of the guys ever having a franchise.
He gonna have one.
You're gonna
He'll
have
have
a
one.
franchise. I mean, either way, I mean, like I said, if he plays with his son, that'll be NBA history for like I said, 2 sons. That means he's done something that nobody else has done.
Well, he's already got that.
No,
The
no, no,
second day.
I said 2 sons.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
So
2
now
sons.
it's just gravy. It's
Right,
gravy
yeah.
now.
Yeah, like I said,
Look,
if he gets
Let his daughter come up and play, and then it
She
did
ain't-
break records.
Look at she ain't playing it.
Yeah, she ain't
playing
going-
in
that
the
ain't-
NBA.
I don't
playing
think
in
she
the
leaves.
WNBA.
She ain't a basketball player.
Nah.
So yeah, like I said, but with that being said, so we're still talking about Lakers, and so my head was kind of confused when they hired Reddick as a coach, because of course I kind of looked him up and was like, he played at Duke. It hurt to say that, but he played at Duke. He played around the league, bounced around the league a lot. Coached a little bit of AAU basketball. I watched his interview where he said he dropped the F-bomb and he was talking about the longevity of his players and getting his players right. And I'm like, yeah, that's all well and good, but
Yeah, I don't think
you
I have enough
ain't
time for that.
coached.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, all
Yeah.
your coach, don't get me wrong. Okay, coaching at each level is different. Sorry, it is. I can coach a bunch of little 8-year-olds,
Mhm.
right? I can coach teenagers. I could potentially coach guys in college. But for me to say, hey, I've never coached,
Oh,
and
grown man.
me to Jeff Saturday is an example. Never coached, went to the
And
Colts,
Yep.
won 2 games, and they were like, yeah, right. So like I said, you've never coached just because you were coached.
I mean, Steve Nash.
Yeah, like I said, Steve Nash is another example.
Terrible.
Like I said, just because you're JJ Redick, you coach AAU basketball. AAU basketball is not college ball. It is not the NBA. So like I said, I know they're probably getting, as they say, retreads, right? They don't want to do a retread. They want to do somebody new. In my opinion, I was just kind of like, there's got to be somebody else better there, right? You had the guy we talked about him. The guy looks like an alien. Forgive me.
Oh, you talking about Sam?
I'm about to say
Sam
Sam Cassell.
Cassell. Not even mentioned, not even interviewed.
Well, here's the thing.
I think it goes
So-
back to what AJ said, which they're trying to get like the new face of Pat Riley,
You
a young guy.
This is what I look at.
Mm.
So, yes, there's plenty of coaches out there, right, that have
Yep.
experience,
Yep.
right? So so here's the options right in front of you. You can hire a dude that's been fired 6 times because he's got lots of coaching experience, right?
Darby.
You can hire an assistant coach who's got
He said,
True.
so like, dang, man,
Right.
leave Doc alone.
you can hire an assistant coach
Mhm.
who's got lots of assistant coaching experience,
Mhm.
but never a head
Head
coach,
coach.
right? Or you can say, you know what? Or you could, well, do it. You could do a college coach that's never coached pros and give that a shot. Or you can say, you know what?
I'm
Let's
going
just
coach to the win.
go with somebody we think is smart,
Likeable.
that can relate to the players. He's young, so he knows this new. That's one thing about JJ Redick is he's not going to
Very
be like
innovative.
he's not going to be like, well, back in the '60s we ran the pick and roll,
Yeah.
and I want to run the pick. He's going to be looking
Hear
for
you
the
out.
innovative stuff.
Well, then he's gonna have to build his staff. Like I said, but that's part of it too. I understand what you're saying. He could be innovative, but if you don't have the staff to implement what you want, because as a head coach, you not like that every day, because there's gonna be pieces and parts where you have to be doing this, and your assistants have to be
You
teaching
said you can't be
your
like super
philosophy.
hands on.
See, I just don't know, man.
Just depends. I know I said-
NBA,
Mhm.
again, because none of us have ever been
Yeah,
on the bench.
Yeah.
Think about Phil Jackson, right? The thing you always heard about Phil Jackson was he was the Zen master. His thing wasn't necessarily, I never heard him talk about X's and O's.
Never.
I mean, they had the triangle,
Yeah.
but it was always, I know what to say to Dennis Rodman
Yeah.
to get the best out of him. It's not the same thing I say to
The Kobe, right.
or the same
Yeah.
thing I say to Shaq.
Yeah,
So
he
he's able to manage all those. Maybe
Mhm.
JJ can do that. I don't know.
He better be.
And I
But
also see him either doing that or like Steve Kerr, putting his own kind of unique twist to a system.
yeah, it's a good point.
That's a-
Steve
that's a-
Kerr's another one.
Yeah.
Look how good Steve Kerr has done.
Wait,
Now
wait.
he's got a lot of years as an
Wait a
assistant.
minute, hold on. Who put that team together? Not Steve Kerr.
Yeah, he did too.
Oh, Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson was there.
I gotta
at the
give credit to
beginning.
Mark Jackson.
No,
What?
no, no,
What?
no,
No. This is something we go back and
No.
forth on.
I
You
give
said Steve Kerr unlocked everything, which I do give credit for.
If you go back and look,
But I do agree that Mark Jackson
if you go
was-
back and look at the players that were on that team when Mark Jackson had it, they don't look the same. Steph was there, but Steph wasn't Steph.
You're right.
Um,
And honestly, I don't even know if KD would want to play with Mark Jackson as opposed to Steve Kerr.
Well, Steve Kerr has proven
Yeah, that we can
that
win.
he knows how to.
Exactly.
But when Steve Kerr, when he got the job, he had been an assistant
For a while.
for a while.
Yep.
But for whatever reason, part of it is you get lucky, you get great players.
Right.
But number two, you got to put in a system
Mhm.
that works
Work
for all
for
of
those
them.
great players.
And there's a reason why Mark Jackson ain't had a job since. If they were giving him credit,
Yeah, I'm about to say, we still trying to figure that out, though.
hey, hey, look here.
He's a Christian.
Look here.
He's a Mormon.
Oh, he ain't no Mormon. Don't kill him with that. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there's some reason that we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Might
At
be
all.
Might be the owner don't want to,
Yeah.
but
Blackballed.
there's a reason why Mark Jackson, why Sam Cassell, look in the NBA, I mean NFL, when the enemy, we don't know why these dudes ain't getting jobs, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they
It's always-
interview
it's always-
poorly. Maybe you talk to their former players, like, man, because we heard this about Mark Jackson, and then I just heard it about Monty Williams. Yo, man, that joker always preaching to me.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't trying to
Yeah,
hear all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean, maybe you know what I'm
They're
saying?
gonna know you like, I'm trying to who? Are you talking about?
We know we down 36 points, but the Lord said the shit.
And maybe in the game that's okay, but after the game, yo, man, I'm about to go out tonight.
We need to go
I'm gonna
church.
need y'all to have a mandatory Bible study.
Yeah, and even with that, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
in that sense, like some players, because they're men in the NBA,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, they are.
like, bro,
You're
like,
an
I
adult.
don't want you to try to
Well,
give me
typically an
no,
adult,
Yeah.
you know,
no jewels as a man. Like, just tell me how to win this basketball game.
Yeah.
I mean, that depends. Like I said,
Yeah, that was it. That
that's
depends.
that's a whole nother
Yeah.
topic. We can talk about another day.
Or like, you ain't gonna be
Yeah.
talking to me like that. I'm a
That's
man at the
another-
end of the
you
day.
know, see, I mean, like I said, I don't know JJ Redick perfectly. He may have a system in mind, but I think it's gonna have to rely on not just him, but his staff and who he picks.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna have to have a heck of a staff.
I
And
think his
he's
staff is gonna
need-
have to
yes.
kind of
Because it just can't be him. He's gonna have to have a staff that they're
that
on the same-
unlocks everything.
Yeah, they gotta be on the
Who was
same
on-
page.
who was on this? Who were the people on the Lakers staff this past year?
Well,
Dark
I can tell you, I can tell you who ain't on the staff no more because he said he was upset.
Who's that?
Phil Handy.
See,
And
That's
Phil
what I'm
Handy was a
saying.
staple for the Lakers.
but see, that's what I'm saying. Phil Handy out there doing drills with you, but I don't know if Phil Handy is the reason why you winning championships. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, I would love for him to get like Rondo, somebody
did
like
talk
that
about
on the
that.
staff.
Yeah, he was linked.
He's gotta be a
You know, like with the
Jack Vaughn was linked.
with the yeah, and he's got head coaching experience. But like with the Bulls and the Lakers, right? When Phil Jackson first put in the triangle, he had that, I forget, not Pete Carroll, Pete something.
That
Was
taught
like
him to
this
try.
old dude.
No,
It was
the
like
old
the,
dude, yeah,
the
old-
master of the
master
triangle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So he would have him like
Yeah.
kind of doing that part.
And understanding
Yeah.
why the triangle works and
Yeah.
how the
See,
system
that's,
works.
Right.
that's what I'm saying. He needs somebody on the staff that's gonna be.
He needs a
willing
Zen
to-
master.
Not the Zen master, but the
The
implement.
dude that
Yeah, somebody's gonna implement his system that
Yeah.
that sees it the way he sees it, or like, as you just mentioned, bring somebody in who says, you know what? You teach the system and I'll get the mind games.
right.
Now,
Yeah.
You know,
this would be-
because to me, from watching JJ Redick play, his body language, his style, he never seemed like a Zen master to me.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
saying.
I will say this, I don't think it's super far-fetched.
Mhm.
The reason I say that is because I showed Alan the video.
What?
I can see JJ possibly trying to grab Coach K as somebody on the staff.
So
They
you know
have a
what-
great
okay.
relationship.
So you know the Lakers wanted
They
Coach
used
K
to-
back in
yeah, I
the
was
day,
about to
right?
say.
One of them.
I don't think Coach K gets back into that world. I think he would be an advisor to him, like
Okay.
call me up
Okay.
and I can
Mhm.
tell you. And Coach K is another one of them combination X's and O's and Zen master dudes. Like he could get the most out of jokers, man, which drove me crazy because I was always like, you know what? Players at Duke start out from nowhere, end up being a player of the year. They leave Duke and they go
Not
back to
being
being
nothing.
nowhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, because Coach K got some Jedi mind tricks to make them think they're
True.
better than they are,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, Grant
So
Hill
if-
was the only one.
They're
So
confident.
if he could teach,
Yeah.
teach that trick to JJ, maybe, hey JJ,
Well,
look, he's like this.
no.
If you say this, Anthony Davis will all of a sudden think he is
great.
Giannis, he is
good.
Kareem.
Tell him
he
his
is-
body won't break down. His
Yeah.
body won't break down.
Exactly. Hey man.
But yeah, like I said, I mean, that's the combination I see. Like I said,
They above 500 with JJ? I'm not saying playoffs. Are they above 500?
I mean, like I said, no. Basically, okay, if you're in the West, right? So, I mean, like I said, I think I think they will be the playoffs, and I think they'll be about the 6th seed because they got.
You think they get all the way to the 6th seed?
I think so.
Nah.
Because
I say playing.
they struggled to get to the play-in game the
But
last.
okay, because the thing about it,
Play-in.
you're gonna be bringing in a different system, and you got 32 games to get taped.
Hopefully, get some free agents. Hopefully.
Well, that's all.
Yeah, they got to work on that.
That's all right. But like I said, but of course, you're still looking at what's going on in the trade world.
Yep, you're right.
For basketball. So, if they make some additions, and LeBron is always willing to say, hey, I'm taking a pay cut, because it's not like he need the money.
Again, and we are in them people's pockets.
I know.
He got money to keep going.
He said the reason I'm a billionaire is because I always take the
Take the
max.
money, yeah.
But he did say he would,
Yeah,
he
he
would
would take-
consider taking
Yeah,
less.
for certain
So,
all
yeah.
stars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, so again, we can talk about those all-stars too, because again, we're still talking about Lakers.
They
know-
give up some of his
Hey,
and keeping his money.
But JJ already said, like, he's talked to Anthony Davis about a different role for him. I think that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
You already know him and LeBron are boys.
Does
It's-
does that role say that he's playing the five?
Well, I don't know, but
Dave?
I think they're gonna
Anthony
make him.
Davis.
I think they're gonna make Anthony Davis more of a focal point to the offense.
Okay.
Because if you look at Anthony Davis, and again, he's so most frustrating player in the league, physically
Got it.
should be top 3
In the
MVP voting
Every
every
year.
year. But again, there's something missing, right? And so,
Yep.
so LeBron has to always be like, all right, I'm 50 years old, but I guess I need to be the one.
They asked Kyrie, was LeBron his dad? He asked Anthony Davis, is LeBron his dad?
Right. Yeah. But so yeah. So he said he's got a better role to use Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Which would be good.
So that means they're going to bring
You
in
know,
center.
I guess. I mean, even
I
if
mean, they
you,
should. I mean,
even if
okay.
you don't,
Yeah.
Anthony Davis should be able to cook
Cook.
anybody offensively. He's playing well defensively. The whole thing with him is, can he stay healthy?
Injury-free, yeah.
And this year he actually did a pretty good job at that. The Lakers don't go as far as LeBron and Anthony Davis, and then the
role.
third dude and then the role players have to just do their part. You know,
I would love for Anthony Davis to start bringing up the ball like Joel, like
Mhm.
Joker.
I don't
There we
know
go.
doing that.
You don't want him bringing up the ball?
No,
Well, no, like I said, then you don't. I mean, let's not do that.
No.
Let's not give him too much too early.
because number one, he's not the passer that those dudes are.
You're right. You're right.
Because they-
And number two, man, get your butt down on the block and get ready to get this entry pass and go to work on whatever dude we give you.
Look, I'm not even a Laker fan.
Yeah, it is simple. It's that.
Go to work on this dude,
Yeah,
man.
that's
I don't want to play center. Dude, what? You could cook everybody. I want to be out on the wing, shoot threes.
Yeah. So look, you know what? Then go out there
Okay,
shooting
Cat.
threes.
Yeah.
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 All right, Cat, I got you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cat Giannis. Go ahead.
Man, we'll throw you some bones, let you shoot some threes,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna need you to block everything on the other end. And I'm gonna
Yeah,
need you to be
so-
tough, and I need you to. If you fall down, I'm gonna need you to get up.
Yeah.
So that, so again, talking trade, what trade? Because I know Paul George is out there,
Yeah.
Clay is out there, you got your boy out there,
Yeah, Harden.
Harden's
Trying to
out
figure
there,
what
a
he's
few
gonna
other
do.
cats out there. And of course,
Jeremy Grant.
yeah, and you got other teams who are whispering about
Yeah.
getting rid of players that dump salaries.
They trying
so on and so forth. So who?
Buy something.
Yeah, so who you all think? Because of course I'm not a basketball guy. Who was going to be the most intriguing move that's going to help the team in the East or West get beyond where they were? Not go 0 from 4 to 5, but let's go from like 4 to 2.
Paul George.
And Paul George is the one everybody's talking about.
Mhm.
He moves the needle a lot. He puts you over a hump.
Yeah, if you're already good,
He puts you.
he's
up the
gonna because as long as he's not gonna be your now.
Number one.
Let's say you
Like,
send him to
Robin.
Washington.
Oh.
Guess what? Washington is not gonna be any better than they are right now. But you send him to Philly,
Golden State.
you send him to Golden State, you
Yeah,
send him
Golden
to
State.
LA, you send him to all these teams where they already have a
Contender,
one,
Yeah.
maybe a
The
two,
two.
and you need him to be
The three.
a 3-and-D
Mavericks.
where there's no
Yeah, they
pressure.
talked about that too. So the
Yeah.
Mavericks. So the Mavericks was
All of those, to me, though, if you don't have to gut your team
All right.
and lose everybody else, I think he makes a big
I
difference.
think Paul George moves like I think Paul George puts you over the hump. I only think Clay Thompson moves the needle.
Yeah,
I don't
Clay-
think Clay
okay,
puts you over.
Clay is-
not anymore.
Clay is not the dude he once was.
He definitely moves the
He's
needle
a-
though.
He moves the needle, but on the offensive end, he moves the needle, but on the defensive end, he's becoming a more of a liability.
I really would say that he's more of a liability on offense than defense.
Yeah, he's
Well, not me toward now. I mean, this year clearly.
Yeah.
he.
This year, they put him coming off.
Yeah.
But I also think it was the role where he was like, I used to be that guy as well.
Yeah, he had to
Where am
accept
I
the
at?
fact,
Yeah.
Yeah.
accept the
Yeah,
fact
yeah,
that I'm
yeah.
not what I used to be,
You know,
but I
kinda like-
think I am.
Yeah.
But
kinda
they
like,
acting like, dang, we want you to come off the bench at the end of the game. We don't need you in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's messing with him, right? So
Well,
I think that's one reason.
Yeah, I think with anybody
And they don't want to reward him
by giving the money.
by giving him money.
Especially when you like, Draymond just got something. He just got suspended.
There we go.
Draymond playing better than Clay though.
Yeah, he is. He is.
He hadn't dropped off as much.
Somebody that is not really in the air as far as free agency, but I see him in a few trades if it were to happen. I think Andrew Wiggins kind of moves the needle for you.
Oh yeah, he's been talking about getting.
I don't think he puts you over the hump,
No,
but I think if you can bring in Andrew Wiggins,
Okay,
he helps you.
if he plays like he played in that
Yeah, how many years ago was that?
I'm
2,
just
3,
saying,
yeah.
2 3 years ago. I mean, but he's still what 30 something.
Yeah, he ain't that.
He-
Yeah, he's
that
not
old.
old.
So
I
he
just
still
think
can recapture that. But like I said, because when I watched them play this year, I was just like, the same dude.
yeah, he's
That
yeah.
was
You know,
Wiggins
he-
Andrew.
he found it-
Andrew
He
Wiggins.
found it for that one season.
And that's all.
You know, he's to me, Wiggins is a dude. If you got a young team and you need like who Wiggins remind, and it's funny because they may have even almost replaced each other, kind of. Wiggins is a lot to me like Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
He's a veteran dude that used to be
I give Harrison more credit.
okay. Well,
Well, I mean,
but-
Harry-
He's more consistent. I feel
but
like
what I'm saying is,
but I
they-
definitely see what
they-
you're saying.
in their early years, they were
they-
crazy athletic and
yeah.
crazy offensive,
Yeah.
but now they're more like a veteran presence.
Shoot the
That'll
three,
play
play
defense,
defense.
knock down a three, make the right
Make the play,
play,
yep.
talk to the young dudes. I mean, I guess Wiggins does that.
They don't have the
Yeah.
most flashy type of person.
Yeah. And
they're not
so,
gonna bring
and so like your young teams like your Houstons and your OKC,
Minnesota.
Minnesota, those kinds of teams I think could use like what when Memphis brought in Smart,
Yep.
like those kinds of dudes.
Oh, I mean, Andrew, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to be funny. If Mavericks can't get a Paul George, which they probably won't, Andrew Wiggins,
Yeah, I
that
think-
moves the needle for y'all.
That's going to move the needle, but that's going to be. That's going to be.
But where are you
that's
gonna
be
play him though? Because you got
PJ Washington.
PJ Washington.
You can bring Andrew Wiggins off the bench.
Well, that's the thing.
I don't know if he would want to come
I
off,
don't know that he.
but I mean, he's came off the bench with the Warriors a few times.
Yeah, but not as
Not
not
consistent.
not when he was really helping them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
He was the starter when he was.
You
out.
feel I
Yeah.
feel like you need him to
Because-
be in the game for those intangibles.
I mean, he could play the three because Mavericks just got rid of Tim Hardaway Jr. They waived him because they got Quentin Grimes for him.
Yeah, I don't know that.
So it's possible.
Yeah,
I mean, it's possible. I mean, anything.
there's like he's gonna be in the league. It's not like he's gonna be
Yeah.
out of the league.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go to
He,
Detroit.
he might. Good lord, man.
Even though they got money, nobody want to go there.
Man,
They better-
Detroit, man. They can't catch a break because the year they've been horrible for 5 years,
They were decent with Blake Griffin.
and they can't decent.
on
Very
TV.
decent with
But
Blake
that was
Griffin.
100 years ago too, wasn't it?
On TV.
Blake Griffin, good
On
God.
TV.
Blake Griffin had one of his best years.
Like I said, on
Jeez,
TV.
yeah, that's been a minute. I didn't even remember he played for them. That's how long he did.
But look, on TV.
But think about it,
They
that's
got-
when
they
it-
got views. They got
That's
views.
one of them teams.
If you go there, your career is.
You get lucky.
Mhm.
You never get lucky because they're worst team ever for 3 years in a row. And the one year they get the number one pick, they get Cade Cunningham.
He can't.
They
do it.
they don't get the number one pick when Wemby's out there. They don't get, that's like Atlanta getting the number one pick this year. They're like, really? We couldn't have got it last year when we get a generational talent.
Right.
We can't get it next year when Cooper Flag or
Flag.
these dudes that everybody likes is coming out.
And that's one thing I want to throw in right quick because Cooper Flag has been invited to the Team USA, and he's the only college player to do so.
Yeah, on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Practice squad. He ain't playing no ball.
Yeah.
But I think that speaks volumes of them trying to be certain to see if he's going to be the number one pick. for the
Yeah,
team.
yeah. I mean, the people are already
Okay.
talking about next year's draft as being maybe a good one. I haven't
I
looked
can
that
see him helping the
close.
team. I mean, if he continues to improve, I can see that.
Well, if you had to say right now, unless there's some dude we don't know about overseas,
Clear cut.
he's gonna be the number one pick.
Clear cut.
And
Detroit.
hey, look here, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you one. Look,
Hey, if he got a good agent, if he got Rich Paul, he ain't going to Detroit.
you know what? But you know what he's gonna give you though. You know what he's gonna give you? A little Caitlin Clark vibe.
Yeah, get your money up.
White dude, high flyer,
Athletic, yeah. I'm about to say.
athletic,
Defense.
going to Duke. Like he gonna give you all the stuff you want. And if you end up, let's say he ends up on a team that just really needs like a flashy star.
Memphis.
I mean, I could put them on.
Let's be Memphis. Let's
Yeah, Ja, him. I
That-
don't
that
see him.
Ja, I
Ja.
don't see him
Yeah,
and Ja mixing, bro.
that's Ja's team.
Like I said, bro, look, talking about shoot him up.
You got to put him on a team. Hey, you got to
Ja
put
ain't
him.
gonna be like this.
He got to go to a team that don't already have.
You don't think so?
No,
Man, him and Ja ain't gonna mix, man.
no,
Spurs?
nah.
Wemby,
Not with
that's-
Wemby.
Wemby's
That's
there.
Wemby squad.
So you're saying that Cooper Flag is the 1A?
I'm saying he's going to get drafted like he's a 1A.
Gotcha.
And you
Okay.
don't take somebody number one
And put him at
and
the 2
make
on your
him-
team. I
and
got
make
you.
him, you know what I'm saying? Like, now again, I watched him on some highlight videos.
I mean, everything has showed that Brooklyn's trying to throw away all that
to try to load up on picks.
for him.
But see, that's the thing. That you get those years where everybody wanted Wemby, right? People started tanking a couple years ago trying to get that
You
number
go out
one
there
pick.
trading their all-stars. You like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And it worked for the Spurs, right? Because Spurs are the luckiest team in history when it comes
You
to
always
draft.
say
There's a great center coming out. They're gonna
Got
get
him.
him. David Robinson got him. A couple years
Duncan-
later, Tim Duncan got him. Wemby got him.
Yep, and they got what's up with the French guy?
Alex
Little-
Lar.
No, the little short French guy. that was
Oh, you're
like-
talking about Tony Parker.
Yes, thinking-
Oh,
But Tony Parker was one of the ones that they found in the weeds that
Yeah,
nobody
Open
knew
and all
about.
them.
Yeah.
Ginobili.
Dial.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing I give. We know we were
Spurs
talking
were
about.
like an international team.
But they
Yeah,
always have been.
yeah.
But you know how we were talking about who's a better coach?
Yeah. Oh,
between-
Phil Jackson, Coach K, or
Yeah.
Popovich.
And one
Yeah.
thing about Popovich is he's able to find those kind of
He didn't
guys
him.
that you don't really. But my whole take against him was
He ain't Phil.
since when you don't have Duncan or Robinson
He ain't won that
and,
since.
and Ginobili and Parker, he ain't winning nothing. Matter of fact,
he ain't got Kawhi.
Kawhi,
Him and Kawhi didn't get along. He was
here there at the end, they was trying to tell Kawhi he won't really hurt.
like I said, you can
The
see.
Jonte, you had the Jonte over there with the Spurs.
Yeah, but they were bad back in them days. But
Yeah, so like, but yeah, man, it's different there.
So what young team do you see? Okay, they may do something and they're gonna still be in the hunt.
OKC.
I think
OKC.
Minnesota did well with
I think
getting
OKC.
Rob.
yeah, OKC
I think
and
OKC
Minnesota
is
should still
definitely-
be.
Yeah, they should still be there. I think if they get a veteran leader, somebody.
Memphis will probably still will be back.
Well, Memphis will be back, but
You don't like the Edie pick, but I think Edie will replace like your what's the guy?
Steven
Adams. Yeah.
bruh,
He's a better he's better offensive than
better-
Steven Adams, but Steven Adams was a killer.
They say
like-
Steven Adams like strong.
yeah, that Joker was
Like he don't even got to lift and he'll move.
Yeah. yeah, and they said he was just
See, okay, so-
mean.
Okay, here's my
Yeah.
thing.
But it seems like a nice guy though. He's
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I didn't watch Edie work out for the NBA.
Okay.
I watched him play.
Yeah.
Right. In the games that they lost, not even foul game, but if you get a center, let's say he has to go up against a
Joel.
Joel Embiid or somebody who can shoot from the outside. Edie ain't that guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but there's not any. But here's the thing, though.
How tall is he?
He's
He's
7'3".
7'3".
Seven-
He turn around and just do this. and he
But
dunk.
this is the thing, though.
Huh?
That dude doesn't exist. Nobody's stopping Embiid. Nobody's stopping Cat.
Wemby ain't even.
These dudes are scoring.
But I'm just saying.
At will.
No. Well, not that's
That ain't why you bringing him in.
Yeah,
no,
To
okay,
shut
so-
down.
And hold on. Before you get to your point.
Okay.
If someone was thinking in that sense, Klingon with 7. Klingon won't more impactful than Edie.
Right?
What are we talking about?
Okay, but see, when I watched him play at this level where you have more athletic individuals, his footwork on offense, great. Defense, no. I'm sorry.
He has made improvements every year.
He's made a lot of
Well,
improvements.
he better
And-
get really agile.
But
'cause
think
he's
about
not.
it, though.
Yeah.
But again,
You ain't gonna tell me.
But look-
No. You cannot teach speed. You cannot teach agility.
I'm sorry.
So name somebody not named Victor Wembanyama. That's 7'2", 3".
What I'm
Katie
saying,
or Giannis?
no, what I'm saying is, to me, the pick, you're like, okay, I don't get it, because we talked about how athletic and how these guys score at will,
They do.
right? You pick the guy who has cinder blocks for feet.
But
I'm
you're not
sorry.
drafting him to play defense. You drafting him because now we got
It's just a preference.
That's a no. They draft. I mean, again,
Okay, hold on.
I think 9 was too high.
So,
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Rudy Gobert. Huh? Rudy Gobert.
He's way better offensively than Rudy Gobert.
Okay.
But Rudy's the only thing is defense, right?
Yeah.
So you're not bringing in Edie to be a defensive stopper.
guy.
Sure not.
You bringing him in to get
Hey, well, you
buckets.
need to get 12 to 15 when you come in.
That dude gonna get buckets because his offensive game is good.
Yeah.
Now again,
Don't say-
he ain't reading you in a foot race down the floor. But-
matter of fact, we just brought him up. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Oh, y'all mean? But okay,
You know what? They got a
yeah, I mean, that guy similar
that's a very
That guy similar.
different style back then.
it was.
It was.
Different. That, like you said, that was a what?
He didn't get
Big-
exposed
no, no,
like
no.
like
That
Eddie
was
would.
a-
This,
hold up.
you know.
That was a who? That was a big man's league back
You're
then.
right. You're right. You're
This,
right.
you got guys that are 6'9" on the wing.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
didn't have 6'9" guys on the wing.
But when you're 7'3", you ain't got to go all the way out there. You just got to do
That's
that.
exactly right.
You better hope
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Like I said, I watched them dudes in Wisconsin
If,
kill it.
if you shoot it and you shoot lights out, go ahead, bro.
But that's that whole example, right? He was the 2-time player of the year,
Yeah.
averaged 25, 28. He was
Double-double.
unstoppable in college.
Mhm.
But college ain't the pros.
Nope.
It's not.
He ain't doing that against NBA dudes. Now, for whatever reason, again, I thought he was gonna be there at 17 when the Lakers was picking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, Memphis was like,
We like
we like him. We'll see.
Like I said, we're gonna see. Like I said,
Yeah.
at 9, I was just kind of like,
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I see every missed layup John miss. If he miss it,
oh, he gonna get. He gonna
Eddie's going right there.
I mean, maybe like some of the offensive.
And I
side.
also, actually, I did watch a snippet of an interview. So I'm sorry. I understand why they drafted him. They said it helps Triple J out.
Okay, because he doesn't have to do
So
like,
now he gets to play the weak side help.
Okay.
and then he gonna be wiping stuff
Yeah.
out the sky.
Okay.
That was
Yeah,
one of the reasons. That was one of the reasons.
That's a
Okay,
good
then
point.
That's a good point because I'm sitting here like,
Yeah,
And I'm not big. I don't really like Triple J.
yeah. He's
He's not.
athletic.
He's not better than Bam to me.
No, I agree. I
He's not
agree.
better, and people don't like Bam.
I agree. Bam
Bam,
will
Bam is
lock you
that
down.
guy.
on
Yeah, Bam. is that
Bam,
guy.
Bam might be the best defensive big man we've seen in a long time overall,
And he got the mid range.
and he can
Yeah.
score a little bit. Yeah.
saying, like I said, well, he better develop his game and like I said,
Miami better not let him go.
they ain't got nobody else. What you talking about?
I told you y'all finna let Jimmy
I
Butler go.
know because we ain't got nobody else.
Jimmy don't take the
He-
season serious.
Yeah, why would he? But anyway, I mean, like I said, I ain't mad at him, but I'm just like, yeah, we about to be down here. Maybe we tank it.
Maybe.
We tank it.
Well,
We
let's see.
tank.
Hot take. I got John top 3 MVP voting that shit.
Ooh,
Good luck.
that is a hot take.
Here we go.
Hey,
Good
put some
luck.
money on that one.
Yeah.
I think you can get some good ads. You can get some good odds on that one. If John get
I got John top 3 MVP.
No, you have no enforcing when you bet. It's he has to.
He has
Oh, he has to win it. Okay.
But what I'm saying is that's
Hey, he
that's a
could
good
now.
value on that one. Because I guarantee you he's way.
Ain't nobody been talking about him in a little minute.
Yo, that's
Y'all gonna forget who he was.
that's a good value pickup right there.
That's good for him.
Yeah.
He don't need to be nobody's spot.
Put a couple
So,
dollars on
If
that.
any 21 of the subscribers that are subscribed to the show, they want to donate that so we can use that money to bet.
Great.
You would have a great refund.
He said a great come up.
Yeah, great come up reimbursement for that.
You be out here giving betting advice.
Exactly. That's the next show. Yeah. Tune in next week with your sheets up,
Yeah.
with your website up. We'll
Now
get
we laughing though. If somebody really do it and it hit, you gonna be mad.
Yeah.
Man, look, I'm just not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You're not gonna make any money betting Jokic and Embiid.
Yeah.
You're making some money on
Ja.
Ja.
Some money about that bet. Yeah, the season hasn't fully closed yet, so they don't have futures bet that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But they'll be, think about it though,
Oh,
there's gonna be lots of people betting Bronny minutes. How
They've
many
already did
points
it.
will he-
It's one that was going around. It was like scores 15 points one day, hits like like 2 threes,
Don't need it.
and one like it says that he scores over like 25 points
Yeah, there,
or 20 points.
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, it'll be interesting
Yeah,
because
yeah, that's,
people will definitely be putting some,
I'm not betting on that one. I mean, 25 with limited minutes, I don't think so. Unless he hitting like Caitlin Clark,
Okay.
9 threes in a row.
The way people be scrutinizing D'Lo, he may be point guard soon.
look here, LeBron be like, look, man,
D'Lo ain't cutting it. Let's go ahead and put
if
Bronny in.
nothing else,
We
I
got
know my
Bronny.
son knows where I like to get the
Yeah.
ball. So Bronny, bring the ball down this
Yeah.
side for me. It's gonna be interesting. You know what? People gonna lose their minds the
Oh,
first
boy.
time they get on the floor together.
Yeah.
The first time, because it's gonna happen. Bronny hits Bron with a half court lob and he flushes it, and vice versa. When Bron get out on the break and gives him that father son telepathy, hits Bronny with the behind the back lob, and Bronny goes up with and flushes
Matter
on
of fact,
somebody.
how old is Bronny?
19.
What if Bronny is not done growing?
That would be great.
Nah,
That would be the greatest thing ever.
He's 6'2". What if he
If
grows
he-
2 more inches?
If he automatically got
Well,
a growth
guys,
spurt,
If he goes 6'4", 6'5", then we talking about the world looking at Bronny a little different.
if he got a late growth spurt like some of these jokers, they would be it'd be
a late growth
it would
spurt.
blow up the internet.
Because most guys stop growing right about that age. You don't grow too much more after 19.
Yeah. Like Dennis Rodman grew, God, 6 inches or something after he graduated from high school.
Yep.
Well, that's college. That's different. I mean, we all grew a little bit, thank God.
No, I'm saying 6 inches.
No, I'm
that's
just saying,
crazy.
something like there's a kid. Okay, so there was a kid.
That's what I'm saying. He's
okay.
19. He would still be in college.
Well, he would be, but like I said, normally toward the
I
end,
thought you stopped growing at 21.
most guys.
I mean, it's rare that you grow like that, but
Okay.
Yeah, it's
but
very
but
rare.
Rodman was working at the airport or something
Yeah.
Yeah.
and hit the spurt, and then he got a look at some JUCO or something.
Yeah, like I said, so yeah, it's very rare for you to grow
Yeah, at that age.
at that
yeah.
age. Most of your growth spurts for guys are between 14 and 18.
Yeah,
That's when you hit that spurt and you
You're
go
right.
up and you start having problems.
Yeah.
Why my knees hurting? Why my shoulder? Because you're growing.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
When you hit about 19, 20,
You should be done.
you setting in.
Yeah.
You ain't
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
get another
yeah.
6 inches.
Yeah.
If there was, I need to call somebody.
And
You know what's crazy though? Think about this.
Uh,
So Bronny is his growth spurt, and Bryce, they're doing this.
that's what I'm saying.
LeBron is so old, he's now starting to do this.
But yeah,
For
I'm
real?
telling
You know, when you get old, you lose a
You're
couple inches
vertical. You're vertical.
because your stuff starting to
Your bones,
contract.
bro. No contract. Your bones, them aches, all them injuries,
Yeah.
bro. All that jumping, bro.
Yeah,
Like I said, speaking of jumping, I saw Vince jumping. Still,
Yeah.
but who's
Vince
that?
Carter
Vince
was Vince
Carter.
still.
Man, man.
Brick
I don't even want to
Pogo
talk about
sticks.
Vince. Yeah, like he ain't want to leave.
If Vince,
If it
look,
wasn't for
you know
COVID,
what?
He still be playing.
Here's the we have to come up with this list. Who, again, they end up being greats, they're the Hall of Famers, but who should have been greater even than they are
Vince,
if they had a better work ethic? Shaq,
Dak, Vince,
Vince,
Tracy
They
McGrady.
said-
AI.
They said it wasn't work ethic for Vince though. It's just like it just wouldn't translate. Like
Really? I thought
They
people were
said his
saying,
work ethic was good, but like just
Really?
like Paul George, like something ain't clicking.
see, I always heard that Vince wasn't like the hardest worker.
Oh, okay.
I could be
he might have
wrong.
came to practice, but he didn't.
I could be
Work hard, work hard.
I could be wrong. I
Then
could
you
be
had
wrong.
then the other guy, who was it for New York? Syracuse.
Carmelo?
Carmelo Anthony. I think he should have been way better than what he was.
I think when he came in the league, it was a lot of politics.
No,
When he
went to
came
New
in
York-
the
when
league?
He came in. He went
He
to
was
New
killing.
York. He was killing.
When I was at
Yeah,
Denver
Denver.
first.
No, he was different.
His coach didn't even like him at Denver.
Don't matter. He was
He was
killing it.
killing
Yeah,
it.
he was killing
But then when he went, but he was better when he went to New
Went to
York.
New York,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But
though.
then-
And he ain't had no team.
But then things fell off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Jeremy Lin as your point guard. Come on,
It looked-
Lynn Sandy, baby.
that was for like a week.
Yeah. It was the greatest week ever
Oh,
though.
hold up. And did you see that one play where he didn't dish the ball?
Oh yeah, it was funny.
Or it was like everybody in the whole stand was like,
He called off Kobe. He was like, get out of the way.
he's like,
Get out of the way, man. I got
Come on
this.
up. Kobe's like, let me
We'll talk after
Talk
the game.
about this.
Watch.
He did that. He did that to Anthony too.
No, he did the Carmelo too.
Yeah,
Did he?
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did
The
to
Knicks.
Carmelo too.
I ain't
I
mad
think he
at
hit
it.
that shot too.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at it. Look, this is my for
It's
the
my
next
little week,
for the
yeah.
next week. This
I'm
is my
finna-
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not sleeping on the couch no more.
Get out the way. Yeah.
But no, man. So with that, so again, back to the Euro thing, because again, why? My question is that we've talked about this. Why they keep going to the Euro League and leaving the AAU stuff alone.
Well, actually, before you even ask
All
that
right,
question,
go ahead.
why does it seem like it's more accepted to go overseas? Because I remember years back, that really wasn't a thing.
Well, there's not.
And
a
it was
bunch of-
like, everybody was pushing, no, go to college. Go to
there's
college.
not a bunch of people. There's only a very few
I mean,
kids. There's only a few kids now that are going overseas.
yeah,
Right. It's the kids that are overseas that are coming over here. And it used to be you had to be over there. You come over here for high school, and then you get drafted, go to college and get drafted. Now they're staying over there, doing their thing in those leagues,
and then just
and just
come back for
skipping
the
college
draft.
and just
Yeah.
get drafted number 1, 2, 3, whatever.
Yeah, so what's the
Yeah.
deal with? I mean, because again, we already said we are, hands down, we the best basketball country in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So why are kids doing AAU not as kids, those kids over there?
I think it's a copycat league, right? So
I don't even think they have AAU.
our
They
option.
don't, but like the same. But you pro at 13.
Our option, well, but again, it's just different, right? In this country, anybody can be on the AAU team if you got enough money to pay
Right.
to be on the team, right? Your good players aren't having to pay.
Yeah.
Because coaches are-
the good players. Hey, I'm gonna play with you today.
Yeah.
I'm playing with Team
Yeah.
Orlando tomorrow, and I'm playing for Braun team.
And you know what? And that's a good point, because think about this:
Continuity.
they're not even practicing
Yeah.
because it's just raw ability.
Yep.
I know
We
that
get all these guys at
this-
one
this-
time and play this tournament.
this dude is 6'11" and he can jump out the gym and he's the best thing I've seen. I don't care if we're not gonna be running anything complicated.
Right.
We're gonna fly him out here or pick him up on the way, put him on the team. Hey guys, I'm so and so, I'm
Right.
so and so. Go out there and win the tournament.
And I think that speaks volumes. The reason I say that is because in the league guys, which are the Paul George, the veterans, the Bronze, and all them, are saying like, we know what guys are gonna be like being in the league for a while
Yeah.
versus the ones that are just not.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to even us kind of making the kids feel like you got skill, like that'll beat talent or hard work.
Well, you say okay. So you're saying
As opposed to when you get to the league, like you got to have hard work
Oh,
and
yeah,
skill.
yeah, to get you over. Yeah,
That's what yeah.
to differentiate. Yeah, because these kids now, again, the biggest thing is how many clicks can you get? How many likes can you get? How many people gonna watch your video?
How can I make what we say? How can I make my name a
Yeah.
brand?
Yeah.
Are you out there cooking these kids? We don't know what level these. I remember watching those clips of Zion,
Yeah.
and there's like a little white
Little white
dude
dude.
that was like 5'11",
Trying to play
trying to guard him, and Zion is just like.
Killing them.
And so yeah, of course, you look at that video and you're like, this dude's dominant.
Mind
But-
you, the players can't help where they go to school and who's in that conference, but
Yeah,
that's
but-
besides the point.
But showing that as your highlight,
Zion exposed for 43
Yeah.
points. Obviously,
yeah.
obviously.
What did you do?
Shooting non-athletic.
What did you do at the Peach Jam? What did you do at this big tournament where your team is stacked, that team is stacked, that team
Exactly.
is stacked?
When you got an alpha, when you got other alphas around, are you an alpha?
Now tell me what you did, right?
Exactly.
Even in college, right, where it should be like that, it's really not.
Well, he's my friend. I want to go over there and play with him.
Well, and you're Duke and you got 4 or 5 stars playing against GTCC second game of the year,
Right.
and every one of y'all scores 40.
Got 40.
That ain't not a
It's-
good measure.
yeah.
That
Now,
was-
what did you do against
Carolina.
UConn with their 3 draft picks, or
yeah.
Kentucky with their? And again, and Zion did his
Yeah.
thing, so I'm not using that as an example, but
Yeah.
the overseas dudes turned pro when they 13, 14.
Yeah.
They playing these grown men in the league. They averaging 5 points a game and
I think
6 rebounds.
overseas allows it to have access of, I know you can play against pro guys.
Yeah.
You in college, you only get to play against certain pro
We're
guys
not
depending on
looking-
our
we-
team.
We're not
Yeah.
looking at your stats
Right.
overseas.
We're saying how you can adjust,
Yeah.
how you can, what what field of the game do you
Yeah,
have?
physically, how do you compete? So that's why
Adversity.
that's why you can get drafted and average 10 points a game in the top 2 and go to college or play on these AAU circuits, averaging 30. And then we look at it like, "Dang, this dude's averaging 30. Why ain't he going number 1?"
And then
Well-
now that we're putting in perspective, I mean, 10 points versus grown men,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
20 points against
Versus
boys.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it sounds
But see-
good, but when
No,
you
but
really
look
put
at
it together,
analyze it.
Yeah.
So see,
Exactly.
that's the thing. So see, again, that goes back to what AJ used to say, right? You got a team like, let's say Alabama, who's full of 22-year-olds, and they're playing an Oregon squad with a bunch of 18-year-olds.
Yep,
And you figure out why is the score 42-0 at halftime?
yep,
You got grown men playing against kids.
yep, yep.
You know, so again, and again, they've been playing against these grown men since they've been 13. And again, it's a way lot looser calls over there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
And way more physical. So
and I also think it goes back to the routine. You know,
Well,
when you're in the club overseas, you have a routine. When you over here, sometimes when
Well,
you're
see, when you over here,
when you're the guy, you gotta do so many things.
well, not.
I may have a
well,
press conference I gotta go to. I may gotta do this.
You talking about
got-
a kid? Nah, not in the AAU circuit. You're not going to no press conference in the AAU circuit unless it's a big tournament. Unless it's a big tournament.
You must not know how you going.
Nah, I must not, because like I said, I went to a couple. I see no pressers out there. I went to a couple of them. I see nobody out there with no mics.
but
Nah, it's certain
Like I
guys
said, it's
that
gotta be-
come.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
yeah.
you ain't going
you
there.
sign with Cooper Flag. He got microphones in his face all the time.
exactly.
I'm just saying,
Right.
but see, that's the
But
thing.
your average dude out
Number
there
one, you're
trying to make his
AAU
yeah.
that you go out around here. Everybody ain't getting.
If you're good in the state, maybe, but
Yeah,
if
but
you ain't,
if you ain't nationally ranked,
we not putting no.
yeah,
You ain't
Yeah,
about to make
yeah,
no
actually,
money.
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
so you don't see that every.
And
every
when
AAU
we
tournament.
when we interview our guest that's coming in,
Yes, yeah.
how good are these AAU coaches?
They're
That
not.
too. But see, that's another.
You
If
gotta-
I got a
You
squad,
got an
full of-
AU coach
Sit
that
there.
comes in and don't even.
if I got a squad full of 5-star dudes, it's all going
They
D1,
know how they gotta do.
and I'm sitting back here with my
Yeah, you
feet
gotta
up.
coach 'em.
All I got to do is be like, so and so, you bring it up,
Yeah.
and if you don't, so one of y'all figure it out.
Yeah.
And
We like to go left. Just shut them off left. We're gonna shoot the
I don't,
three.
I don't even know if they're doing all that. Are they scouting these dudes? You know
They
what I'm saying?
do. I think certain programs do, but I think overall AAU, just overall, not Nike,
Yeah.
not just Adidas, overall, just have people where they're trying to benefit off the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of
You
that.
got a loaded team, or
That's a
you're
lot
trying to
of
get whatever age group, right? That's a good point.
Like, you got regular
Yeah.
guys that
but-
are not even basketball minded, like, oh, I got some money.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pay this kid to come over here and play with us.
Yeah, but see, not only that, though, you remember who was the coach? The AAU coach that got on at some big program because the kid said you have to bring him.
Oh yeah, it's happened a lot.
That happens a
I know
lot.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so that happens a lot.
Yeah.
And these guys, and again, some
Yeah.
of these guys don't know.
Nothing.
Hold up, they know much about basketball coaching as I do.
Well, a lot of them are making the investment, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They're like,
How can I get close to this guy?
and if
Yeah.
I can get in close with the
Yeah, I
I
family,
can whisper in his
Yeah.
ear a few
Hopefully,
times.
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
keeps on.
Yeah.
You gonna remember me. You'll remember
Yeah.
old coach when you,
Yeah.
and that's a gamble.
That's a risk, yeah.
The more teams you get, the more maybe you increase your chances.
And
Um,
like you said, I don't know how overseas works, but I know over here, it's a lot of guys that have a lot of people in their ears.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that's everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that's not everywhere, but I'm sure it is everywhere
I'm guessing
because
it is,
yeah.
it's everywhere because everybody wants to profit off of you if they can.
Monetary
Yeah.
gain. yeah.
Monetary gain, but
Yeah.
like I said, I think the only difference is, like we said earlier, they identify it earlier and that's your track. If you wanna be on that track, then you're on that
Track,
track.
yeah.
Whereas here, quote unquote, and this is just more recently, right? This is with the explosion of AAU, whatever. So now basketball, when we were growing up, was segmented.
Yeah.
Now it's year
Yeah.
round.
Yep.
So so now you have more wear and tear, but these kids have to be really into what they want to
Yep.
do.
Yep.
You can't
Yep.
be like, well, I'm gonna be an AAU player today,
Exactly.
and then I'm gonna go play AAU.
Back in the
tomorrow.
day, remember back in the day, it was,
You played football.
well, here's the
basketball,
thing,
track.
and it was more,
Seasonal?
your school
Yeah.
is where you really,
Yeah.
you
Gotcha.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if it was football season,
Yep.
the best athletes were playing football.
Yep.
When basketball season came
Best
around,
athletes.
In the back.
they played basketball.
Yep.
When baseball season ran or track, you did one of those. So
Yep.
you were doing something.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
Just
they identify you in, 7th grade or not 7th grade, 7-year-old
Yeah.
Now, again, I won't say everybody. There's
Yeah.
still kids that play baseball, play other things too, but a lot of them, like that's
They
why a
can't
lot
do
of
both.
kids. That's
Yeah.
why a lot of kids you hear get burned out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because
Because I've seen a lot of kids who so I got an example. Back when I used to run sports at the YMCA, there was a kid in Greensboro who was touted as being the best freshman in the city, right? Like he got all kinds of
Wasn't that Hendon Hooker?
no, no, no,
Oh, that's
no,
not Hooker.
yeah, no. And I'm not gonna say the name either.
Okay.
And I used to hear that he would go to the Y before school every day and get up X number of shots. Like all the stuff you hear that these
These good
people
dudes,
say,
yeah.
right? That he wasn't just out there playing pickup. He was like
Working out. Yeah.
and then so he ends up getting a D1 scholarship,
Okay.
and that was kind of it, right? Like
Yeah.
it never. I think he played a little bit overseas,
Mhm.
but he did everything you think
Should
that
do.
they say. Like you need to get up this many shots. You need to be dedicated enough to work out before school, then come home, work out again,
Yeah.
then go to your practice. He did all of that stuff, right?
And who was that? And you think of the quarterback for USC, whose dad trained him since he was 6 to be.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he basically Marinovich.
Todd
Yeah,
Marinovich.
Todd Marinovich.
Yep.
And it burnout.
Burnout.
I mean, that happens. I mean, I get it. It
Yeah.
happens. And,
And he made it. He made it all the way to the league
Yeah.
and hated his dad so bad and had to rebel against the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get to be a child. He was
Yeah.
kind of like
So-
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
He-
Okay, so
I'm
so that's-
stuck in this world for
And again, that's part of it, like I said, with AAU being so huge and this and that and I mean, because again, it's year round.
And then for certain programs, not all, within AAU, you don't have a development period.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, like I said, if
You're
you,
just playing basketball.
Yeah,
Like you
well-
said, you're just in the gym playing basketball. You're playing 5 games a day.
Yeah.
We ain't did no development. We ain't did no practice.
right.
but
And
how
then when you got
can
practice, you don't develop.
But like I said, okay, think about what you said earlier. I'm gonna go play with
Yeah.
Jay's team tomorrow. I'm gonna play with your team here. Then I'm gonna fly to California and I'm gonna play with JJ's team. Then after that, I'm gonna fly back to Cleveland. I'm gonna play on Bron's team.
Yeah.
When you practicing?
And
Hold on,
here's-
hold on.
and
When
here's-
you going to school?
Hey, and here's the other thing you think about, right? The dudes at that level, now this is
Way,
Yeah.
10%, right?
Yeah.
But all of those teams are backed by Nike, backed by
Yeah.
this player.
Sponsorships, yeah.
And so they getting the best
Gear.
shoes, the best gear,
They
the
get
best
gift
some
bags.
money.
And I'm glad you brought it up because even when I think about the small local AAU teams that are just trying to get kids out of the
Yeah,
environment that they're in.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Well, you're telling me that your 6'2"
Yeah.
guard in college is playing center for y'all.
Yeah.
Cause
He
at
will
that
never
level-
know how to play
Yeah,
point guard in college.
Yeah.
You're not setting him up
Set
for
them up.
success.
Yeah.
See, like I said, but that's the whole point of it though. I mean, like I said, that's why, again, I think you should have some type of localized, whatever, right?
It's not even that.
I'm
I
just
think
saying.
you need to have somebody that's knowledgeable.
Yeah, I said knowledgeable, but see, again, you gotta have that system.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that system, and again, you have to be one of those people that say, hey, I wanna coach, what they said, what's his name? The guy with the glasses coached for a while, that'll come out and go, Larry Brown.
oh, yeah, yeah.
I wanna coach to make you better. It ain't about me. And there's a lot of people that ain't doing that.
Yeah.
So, if I see you, if I'm a coach and I'm about me and you hooping in the gym and you just over here flying, you got a 56-inch vertical, you knocking threes down on some scrubs.
Right,
You know what? Jay, I got this AAU squad.
yeah,
That's how it started up.
Hey,
Hey, you play with us this week.
you can play with us this week.
Yeah.
And if it go well, we win the tourney.
Play with us for the whole week.
You play for the whole weekend, bro.
Yep.
yeah.
So and again, that's where a lot of that gets mixed in. I mean, and I hate to say it, but AAU has become more about money than about development of kids. And
Yeah.
that's in a lot of sports.
And it's a shame because again, I don't want to. A lot of these coaches have the best
Intentions.
intentions,
AAU
right?
has its pros and its cons.
Yeah, it does, and in every level, every sport, right?
Yeah.
Soccer, baseball,
Yep.
and,
Even football now.
but the parents a lot of times are ruining it because they're seeing the end result, which they think is a ticket out or wherever they are. And again, as a parent, you want the best for your kid. And if you see that they got some talent and you got other people telling them they got talent, and the kid at that time loves playing, and they love people telling them how great they are.
Right.
You gotta not lock
And,
it in.
and they, yeah,
And then when that happens, because I was there at a certain period where I was probably about 14, 15.
Yeah.
Where like it was like since I was thinking of the end result and hearing like, you decent, you could go scholarship, play basketball somewhere. It was like I was trying to skip some of the process.
Well, see, but see
I'm
that
trying to jump the gun.
See, that also falls back on the parent because you have to keep the kid grounded.
yeah, yeah.
You know, like I said, because I mean, I've coached, I've talked to parents, and you recognize talent when you see a certain sport, right? You do, you just do. When you go, hey, your kid needs to, I think your kid, if he comes to XYZ, he can potentially get a scholarship. Now, if that goes to the kid head, because I mean, I've had a lot of interaction with kids, at 14, 15, and say,
Right.
hey, you work this,
Yeah,
you can
possible.
do it.
Yeah.
But if that goes to your head and then you start, like you said,
Mhm.
skipping the process, and the parents are going, oh, you're going to Bama.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Especially when the
And
parents
Oklahoma
don't got no knowledge
yeah,
of the
yeah,
sport.
Yeah, and you go,
Okay.
all of a sudden you're going, why Oklahoma ain't called me?
Right. Yeah. You said
Bro,
they was
'cause you ain't Oklahoma material.
yeah,
bro.
yeah. And here's the other thing. We identify kids. Okay, I'm gonna give you this story. I may have told y'all this before.
Uh-huh.
I wish I could go back in time and figure out this kid's name and see where he is now.
Okay.
Because it would have been probably 20 years ago.
Okay.
This kid was playing in the 5 and 6-year-old basketball league at the Y.
Mhm.
He was a foot taller than everybody else. He looked like Shaq out there.
He's a giant.
And his mom, because every time down, the other kids just threw him the ball and he just scored every time.
Yeah.
I remember this like it was yesterday. His mom jumped up after every time he touched it and scored. That's my ticket right there. That's the man right there. She literally said, that's my ticket right there,
Oh, Lord.
to
Poor
a
kid.
6-year-old
Yeah.
who was a foot taller than all the other 5 and 6-year-olds that they played against, right?
We ain't even talking about skill. We just talking about
He was just
physicality.
bigger than
Yeah,
everybody
he's
else, right?
size.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself at that point, like,
Pressure.
God, Mom,
The pressure.
you have either doomed this kid to the pressure getting to him to the point where he just quits,
Yeah.
or you're gonna put this kid in positions because you got this in your head,
Ego.
or he's gonna be so like, I messed up because of that.
Yeah, I mean, because think about it, you're 6-year-old and you're hearing that's the ticket, and you know what that means.
Yeah,
Even 20 years ago, when they told you with a golden ticket, you knew what it was.
yeah.
But even what you're saying, like you said, and this is a key thing to kids. Every time he scored, she said that.
Yeah.
But what
yeah.
about when he missed?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
No, even
that plays with you mentally. Like, well, you're not cheering when I miss a shot.
Right.
Yeah.
If
But
I'm
you
not
share
if I'm not perfect,
Exactly.
and so again, I mean, maybe God love him. I hope his name is Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what he turned into,
You hope.
or he turned into
somebody good.
Joel Embiid. I hope, but
But that's a lot of pressure.
6-year-old,
But see,
right?
But that's a lot of pressure for a child to endure.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard it all. Oh, my kid's going pro. No, he's not.
Hey, look,
Like, how do you
Pick-
didn't go pro? How did you know that he's a
pick
pro?
a sport, right?
Oh, you pick any sport,
And
baseball,
pick,
basketball.
So pick a sport. Let's say basketball.
Yeah,
Let's talk about basketball.
Yeah.
Let's say you pick an age group. You got an 11 to 13-year-olds,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And there's a kid out there cooking kids,
Yeah,
and he don't grow anymore.
that's my point.
Um,
Not only that.
guess what?
That's when we have another conversation. Like, hey, these are the things you're gonna have to do because you're only 5'9", bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You going to
yeah,
TCC.
at the Y, when you were 12, you were cooking these kids.
Yeah.
Now
But
everybody
guess
caught
what?
up.
All of these kids now are taller than you, faster than you, jump higher than you, shoot as well as you.
So what do you do that's special?
Right.
See, that's the conversation.
can't-
That's why.
Make that determination at
that's
that
what I'm saying.
age.
That's when you tell them. You say, hey. That's why you say, hey, if you want to do this,
You let me
there's a plan you have to
Yeah.
follow, and you have to have again physical traits,
discipline.
physical attributes, truths, and some talent.
Everything
Yeah.
has to literally hit awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you're not going to be like
You said it earlier. It's 1%.
1% of the world.
It's probably smaller than 1%, honestly.
Yeah,
No,
When you look-
percenters.
no, it is 1%.
when you look at
Percenters.
when you look at the, no, I'm talking about of all
Oh, yeah.
professional sports.
Yeah, it's 1%.
Like it's
1% where everything hits right. I mean,
I got
you can think about it. Even in basketball, we talk about the upside. They ain't but how many teams and how many spots?
yeah.
Yeah.
And look at the dudes we
That
were
don't
talking about
make
this
it.
earlier. Look, the dude that scored 30 at XYZ college that doesn't get drafted,
At all.
doesn't even get a look because he doesn't have the other things, whatever it is they're
Yeah.
looking at.
Yeah.
And you could say, well, dang, he scored 30.
Yeah.
This kid scored 8, but he went number 1. I didn't get drafted at all.
Hold up, not even drafted. I didn't even get an unrestricted.
I didn't get it right. I didn't even get one of
And
these.
get the exhibition 10.
Exactly.
Nope.
A
Exactly.
two-way,
No.
something.
Because there's a whole lot
So,
more.
you know, because like I said, there was a kid that who was the kid that got? I mean, he had pump. He must have springs for legs, man, because his head was literally here. This is like a couple years ago, but he's playing overseas now. He played 1 season in the NBA. Now he's just an overseas dude. I can't remember
Where
who
they
it
go
was.
to college.
I don't remember, but this guy had hops for day. He had like a 56-inch vertical.
Hey, you know what his name isn't? Bronny James.
Yeah, no, this is a couple years
No,
ago.
I'm saying.
Yeah, I think Bronny.
Bronny ain't going.
If he was doing that, the only person that I can think of is probably the same person you thinking of, and that's when he was 14, 7 Woods.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh man,
He-
he's the
he-
4'7". He's the poster child for
Yeah, like I said, so you know, so
YouTube videos.
yeah, it is. Like, so that's the sad part about it, right?
That's what I'm saying. Don't nobody pick you up when you're down.
No, I mean, but that's pro sports. They haven't gonna do every period. I mean, if you don't win, you out. If you don't prove yourself, you out.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the sad part.
They did
about
me
it.
the same way.
So, they do that to everybody, bro. That's what college is
I was
for.
being funny.
No, look, everybody gets done that way.
Yeah, I got done that way, but I wasn't going to the league. So
So I wasn't going to the league either. So what are you planning to be? An accountant?
Yeah.
You're fast. Yeah, I'll be a fast writing accountant.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
But if you go back, you think about it, like so because we all played sports at different levels.
Yeah.
The benefits you get for the discipline, the toughness, the being on a team, learning how to listen.
Yeah.
All of that's going to benefit you no matter what, right?
Yeah.
And so you can use those lessons, those life lessons
Be
to get
successful.
you anywhere, right?
Yeah.
But if only thing you're thinking about is the NBA or the NFL, you doing it, you got, I mean,
Dream killer.
yeah, big time, right? You
See,
ain't-
that's the scary part. See, and again, I think a lot of people don't understand that process when they talk about that's my ticket, that's my kid. Just because you're 6'2" in middle school doesn't mean you're going to be 6'9".
because everything is a mental thing.
and just because you're 6'9" doesn't mean you're gonna be
Yeah. I mean, like, because I know
a lot of
we
tall
had this-
dudes.
We had this guy, man, that I played with in high school. I'm talking about if he would have had an ounce of my anger, we could have ran behind him all day
Mm,
because he was that big. I mean, he was like this wide, this tall. He'd have been the perfect guard, just
Okay.
take up space, but he wouldn't kill a flea.
He didn't have
He
the
didn't have I mean,
the-
I could berate him and he'd be like, man, really?
I got
Talking to me like
I
this.
got you.
I'm like, bro, you know, you could like swing your hand and knock me halfway across the room.
Right.
But you ain't.
Well, I wasn't dumb enough to try.
Yeah, but you ain't.
That's like in remember the movie The Blind Side?
Yeah.
And dude is like suing them
yeah,
because they're like, man, you portrayed me like I was some
yeah.
weak dude that didn't know anything. He said, man, that wasn't even true.
Yeah.
It made for a better movie.
Yeah.
He said, that wasn't even true. Y'all got me
But I
out here.
definitely thought it was true.
Yeah. He said, man, you got me out here looking like I ain't know what the football was.
Yeah, I got all the money, ain't getting nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So-
yeah, you know, so a lot of parents aren't exposed to the process
Yeah.
of how to quote unquote get an athlete ready for each level because it's something different at each level.
That's
Yeah.
something I congratulate Braun for, because
Well,
even like
yeah.
as much as people complain about it, about the what is it?
Nepotism.
Half of the people that's complaining about it, they wouldn't even put their people in their kids.
But
for
there's
success.
think of all the
You
NBA.
think so?
Man, please.
I don't think half of the parents would know how.
But
Well,
no,
you know-
think about all the NFL all the pro athletes
Mhm.
that have ever been. Right?
Probably yes.
A lot of them jokers had kids.
Yeah.
How many of them became stars, made the league, whatever you want to say, right? In whatever
1%.
sport.
Small.
Because it's
It's
I
that
don't think
hard.
all them
It's
had
that hard.
nepotism. All them had advantages that you do. That
What's your boy that is in place of the Cowboys?
Jerry Jones.
You know,
Oh, you know his son, right? His
you
son
know
got-
everybody that works under him. All his kids.
and I'm not mad at
I
him.
know. Yeah,
Christy Jones,
Look,
his son and his other son.
Jerry Buss with the Lakers. Guess who
thing.
runs it?
Jenny.
Jenny. Like,
See, so I mean, it's a common occurrence.
and you get in there, you got to learn, or you're gonna ruin the business. But they've all learned and figured out whatever they
Right.
need to figure out.
And figured out how to delegate.
Yeah,
Because
and
except even like you said, okay, so you look at all the pro athletes over time. I don't care who you are, even if not, they're living with you, they have those advantages, so they hang out
There's
with
opportunities.
basketball
Yeah.
players.
The access.
You know, they hang out like tractor trailer. Somebody from Michigan knew Shaq. Hey, come out here and look at tractor trailer. Is he worth the scholarship? They went down, they played one-on-one basketball. He said, yeah, the young man's strong, he's coachable. That's how dude got his job. I mean,
I got you.
you know what I'm saying? So all these people are interconnected. Period.
Yeah.
So, you know, so say, I mean, and if I owned the Cowboys, the Lakers, if I was LeBron, yeah, I would be doing the same thing for my son because that's
Yeah.
what I'm expected to do as a parent. So people who are getting mad saying, and I get it, I get both sides. I really understand that, yeah, if LeBron wasn't his dad, yes, I get that. But LeBron is his dad. You know, like I said,
We get that.
we get that. I
Yeah.
mean, like, he's been around basketball his whole life, right? Like with
Like,
anything.
bro was in the locker rooms at
Yeah.
like 4. Like, he
Yeah, like,
knows how to
it-
go.
But there's look, Jason Tatum's little boy was up there with
Yeah.
him, and in 20 years,
Yeah,
If he decides to go that route,
if Jason Tatum's son is good enough,
yeah.
he'll be in the league.
better believe. But
Yeah.
a lot of these dudes, they're not good enough to even get to that point
Right.
where I can use my look.
Yeah.
I don't know how many minutes Jordan's kids got in the league, but their dad was the most famous, best player ever.
See, that was weird though. I mean, but that was a different time. You didn't have a lot of. I think that was just at the beginning of social media and how to brand yourself.
Yeah, but you don't need social media when you're Michael Jordan
Yeah,
and
you
your
need
your
some-
son's
You
playing.
just need a phone and you need to make a phone call.
Well, he made it, and I think.
You own the team.
Yeah.
He ain't signed none of his kids because they weren't.
Hold up. How about Michael? Michael be like, suck. You tell his son.
Well, true.
Michael will tell his
Micro
son.
realistic.
His
Hold
son,
on.
his son's
You're
probably
not-
quit basketball
Like,
because he told him
yeah,
that.
look here, man. You're not ruining my name.
You know what? That's a good point. That's a very
You're
good
not
point.
ruining my name.
That's a very good point.
So, you know, like I said, but, like I said, it amazes me that, you know, because like I said, the young lady who said, that's my ticket, that's my ticket. A lot of people, again, just don't understand the process. You have to be, and again, I'll be honest, I didn't understand the process when I went to college. You know, now that I've been there and I understand how coaching works and how recruiting works and how it's basically a factory,
A business.
a business, you know, if you'd have taught me that when I was going in, I'd have had a much better approach. A lot of people don't
No.
understand how it works.
Because even the athletes were telling me, like, hey,
Yeah.
bro, like,
It's
at
different.
the end of the day, bro, this still a business. I'm like, yeah, I hear you. And I get it.
Yeah.
But until you experience it,
Yeah,
like,
and
you be like, whoa.
and the whole like
this is what goes on.
you might in practice cook this dude every game, every practice,
go.
right? And then when game time starts, drum rolls around, that dude starts.
Yep.
And you're like, yo, I'm cooking him.
Scholarship.
You don't
got
right.
scholarship.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Or
Ding, ding, ding.
who you
ding.
think paid for the bus we drive into the game?
His
His dad.
Yeah.
The booster club, they said they want to see him. on
Yes.
the court, Not
yes.
you.
That's business, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it
And
sucks
it's
sometimes,
sad, but it is.
you
true.
know.
Or like I was reminded of yesterday by my wife. You remember the kid that chose Florida over Alabama, and the mama got up and walked out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
at the
At the
table
signing.
at the
He
signing.
threw everything down. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
what's
like,
LSU? He chose LSU.
yeah,
I'm
I know what you're talking about.
Crazy boy.
Like, wait a minute.
Because she's saying, I'm going to LSU. She was like, what?
And she was like, I've already talked to these people. I got some deals in place, man.
I didn't tell the family that you're going to battle.
Do you know the house they about to put us in Bama? LSU didn't promise me that.
I wasn't part of that deal, mama.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, mom.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
But yeah, man, like, you know, but like I said, it's really, I know we gotten off topic a little bit.
It's a
here.
gift for the curse, personally.
Well, I mean, it's just different. I mean, especially now. I mean, it's just, I mean, there's just so many opportunities for these kids now, and they have to learn to manage these things
Yeah.
themselves. Because I mean, if they're not using parents, agents, or
But that's what you were
some
saying
type-
about the what do they call him? What's that kid name? They call him what, Gronkowski?
I was just about to say that,
Yeah.
baby Gronk.
Yeah.
yeah, baby Gronk.
Like, if things don't pan out for him,
Look him up. Look him up because he is probably like 14 now,
Yeah.
right? And his dad said like, if he doesn't end up being
Yeah.
a great football player.
He's 11.
He's only 11. So he was 9 back, 8
Yeah.
and 9. He said even if it doesn't work out, I'll hopefully we'll capitalize on this
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
where I still have him set up.
Yeah, see, that's the whole
Now
point.
what he's doing now, he might be like, you know what?
So this is talked about loyalty.
Yeah.
This is just me just searching Baby Gronk's age, and then some other stuff pops up. Is Baby Gronk committed? Baby Gronk flips commitment to Deion Sanders, Colorado, after Michigan OSU pledges. Viral youth football star Baby Gronk announced his commitment to the University of Colorado on Friday, marking the third different school he has committed to in the past 2 weeks.
This is so
As
stupid.
of May 24, 2024.
This is
Okay.
so dumb. Number one, you said he's how old?
11.
And are
Yeah.
you sure he's 11?
That's what it's saying.
Because
If you don't commit,
because who you think is gonna be? Dion ain't gonna be there in 7
He's
years.
11. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
11.
hold up,
Um,
he ain't gonna be there in 7 years. You're right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hold up.
who are you committing to?
Yeah, this one say he's 10. So he's either 10 or 11.
Okay.
So see, and again, you're anybody who's been recruited.
No, you don't commit there.
No,
Not
no.
really.
Not only do you not, I mean, it's not. It's a numbers game.
Yeah.
They're talking to you, me, and him, and him, and him. You know, they're talking to every number one recruit in the country. You
They just
ain't
gonna say
special.
commit first.
Yeah.
And this is not even like a binding thing,
right.
Yeah, it's just
right?
It's just a
There's no
commitment.
And it's verbal. It
Yeah.
ain't even
there's
official.
no signed letter of intent.
He
There's
can't sign a letter for 10 at 11.
Yeah.
You know,
you can't sign one when he's 17. His parents still have to
if
sign
if
it.
he's not 18, he can't sign a letter.
Yeah, that's
except
about
to
that.
co-sign.
That might be the dumbest thing I've
Yeah,
seen.
that's dumb. I mean, so how can you question an 11-year-old's loyalty?
That was from Bleacher Report.
Like I said,
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's just
I'm
talk
glad
and
that he's
talk.
still relevant enough to be in the thing because I thought he was a little older
Yeah.
and that he
'Cause
was
it's
like, you know what? I gave up football. I'm a skateboarder now.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired.
Yeah,
I'm tired of getting hit by these dudes.
yeah, I mean, like I said, but that's the whole thing, you know.
Because
but-
once you make a name for yourself, people are
People-
definitely trying to hurt you.
Well, they're
Not
trying to
even
hurt
hurt you, they're trying to commit.
Yeah, but he's 11. I mean, dude, he's a kid. I mean, that's like saying, what's your favorite ice cream today? Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream,
Yeah.
sherbet.
Tomorrow might be something
Tomorrow
completely
could
different.
be,
But
could be-
pecan.
yeah, butter pecan or chunky monkey.
Yeah.
I just tried chunky monkey this time. That's my favorite. I mean, he's 11, man.
Yeah.
You know, you talk to me when he's 18, if he's committed to Dion, and if Dion still is at Colorado, you know,
I'm gonna go ahead and say now, not gonna happen.
I know. Oh, yeah, there's some negative stuff coming about his program coming out, but that's the
It don't matter, negative, positive. That joker ain't staying there for no 7 more years.
not to be
Nobody like
relevant.
Colorado that much.
Look, if he's horrible, he'll get fired. If he's great, he's gone. There's no way he makes Colorado a career. So that's I don't even know why we talked about that. But
Yeah.
baby Gronk, God bless him. You know, make your money,
I mean, he's
dude.
gonna make his money. I ain't mad at him. I mean, like I said, capitalize, set him up,
Yeah.
have a couple $1 million. So if he can be an accountant, whatever he wants to be. If he football works out for him, great. I mean, like I said, but that's a, you know,
A lot
I
of
mean,
responsibility.
well, you heard about speaking of football. We'll kind of end on this note because I know this is AJ's favorite bust of the year of his life. Jamarcus Russell
Oh man,
got a
$74,000.
$7,000 check.
Hey, but look here. Hey, honest mistake. Hey man, I'm an assistant coach. Hey man, hey, we wanted to donate some money for the program so we can get some extra uniforms and some equipment. Can we get that to you? Will you get? Oh yeah, sure. Head to the bank.
Can you deposit?
Can y'all put this in my account real quick? Yo,
Yeah, I
come
saw
on,
it, but
man.
I didn't read on it. I didn't.
$74,000 check. He was like,
Made out to hold on. Made out to not him.
yeah, no, he had to make a deal with, he had to convince them to sign it over to him or some mess. Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I knew he would love that part.
Man,
When I saw that, I immediately thought of AJ. He
man,
was like, all this God-given talent.
man, come on,
see?
Jamarcus. And he was volunteering as a youth
Assistant coach, right?
coach.
Yeah.
And they were like, yo, man, you know, you're doing a good job. Will you get this check to the AD? Oh yeah, I'll get it to the AD. All right.
I'll get it to the BD, my account,
Yeah.
my banking.
Now, how can I
Make this
how
money.
can I figure this out?
I'm the assistant director.
Man,
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's you know, I know we're chuckling about it.
Yeah.
But that's another example of what we discussed earlier. A guy
Yeah.
with God-given talent, had all the opportunity,
Everything and everything you
everything
want.
he wanted, but
And he has an
Yeah.
interview too with the pivot. That was a good one.
yeah,
So
like I
he
said,
is-
you know, he did, yeah, he talked about
Yeah,
how
he explains all
was-
the
yeah.
adversity and all the
Well, I mean-
outside noise.
yeah,
But
well,
regardless, in the league of a business, they don't care about none of that.
mhm,
You gotta get it done.
yeah, you do. I mean, like I said, that's the sad part about it. I mean, that's, what you say, would you say discipline?
They said you can throw a football 50 yards on his knee.
80 yards on his knee.
Yeah, 70 to 80 yards.
Yeah.
It's great.
Only thing is, he could also eat 12 Big Macs at the same
Hold
time.
up, hold up. Don't forget about the scissor.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And he had a favorite
Oh
flavor.
yeah, because that was part of the interview. Yeah,
Yeah,
where he was like, they
scissor,
were
Yeah.
giving him that so he can feel a little better.
Yeah, right. They would get him scissor. No, that's that drink, the coffee and alcohol.
Yeah, that's what you talking about.
Yeah. Oh, do you know?
Don't do that, kids.
You
Don't
said
do
that kind of confidently there, Jay.
Look,
Oh,
something you want to
You
tell
might
us?
want to back up off of that a little bit,
Something
man,
tell us
because
before we go viral.
Hey, we
Well,
are
we-
not.
we-
Hey, me and him are not related.
Look at
Do not do that.
Be finding out, be like, what's going on?
I know so
Hold
far
up, hold up.
condone that.
ESPN, give us a call. Yeah, we gonna take all but two of y'all.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
else is,
Yeah,
somebody else is also.
Yo, yeah, he done had a cold for the last 12 years, man. What's up with that?
I feel a little sick. What's in that cup? Oh, dude, that smell like NyQuil.
NyQuil, bro.
It's
Great
NyQuil.
soda, great soda.
Yo, what's your favorite flavor ice cream? Grape.
Yeah, great soda. Great. A lot of ice with the great soda.
Oh God.
But with that, like I said, we've I want to say thank you for the 21 subscribers. Like I said, please continue to like, share, subscribe. Again, three guys who came together who talk about sports from a novice point of view. You know, we haven't talked about baseball, golf, or what's coming up because it's going to be a dry spell, guys.
I could have talked about some hockey, man. I watched a little bit of hockey the other
next
day.
week.
Cricket.
What? Cricket.
Team USA just beat some team for cricket.
Yeah, like I said, we haven't talked about anything other than the major sports. So this is a sports show, so we got to
We'll
start.
be on it soon.
Olympics next month.
Yeah, we'll be
Yeah.
on
We
it
can do some
soon.
Olympics. Hey, but
Yeah.
look, please, we say some stuff up here. Make a comment.
Yeah.
We might actually
Listen.
pay attention now and
AJ
respond
got
back
some
to you.
inside stuff, so you know if y'all want to hear any more details on certain topics that we do,
Yeah,
he's the guy that can get those stories from like Stephen A. Smith,
I'll get
Oh,
it
yeah.
Tuesday.
all those. Yeah.
And if you watch those shows,
I mean, they're
don't be
brothers.
surprised if you hear some of the things that we talked about because there's something's going on, right?
Yeah, I think one of them guys got a false name, man. I swear to God.
They heard about us and now
They
they're
heard about us, like I said, but when we blow up, don't be come looking for us later now.
Yeah.
Just letting y'all know. We gonna be very picky about how much money we take.
I'm not gonna be that big.
I'm taking the match. I'm Braun. I'm taking the match.
You know what? Get no hometown discounts at this table.
We want this money.
We want it all.
We want it all.
Oh man.
But yeah, but with that, like I said, another good episode. We're gonna do the exit interviews here. We got my man.
AJ.
We got
Jay,
A-Dub. We signing off. Thank y'all for listening.
peace out.
All right.